Wow, Celtic have won a game, we've won a match, we're into the Scottish Cup final, 20th of December, put that in your diary. Celtic versus Hearts, and we're going for 12 domestic trophies in a row. Yes, you're watching 67 Hail Hail, the live match reaction to Celtic 2, Aberdeen 0. I am Hamish Carton, John McGinley's there. John, straight away, what's the kind of overriding emotion after that one?
My overriding emotion is that I love Tom Rogic. I'm going to be spewing some unabashed Tom Rogic propaganda this afternoon. I think just in general, I'm just happy with the result. I'm happy with the fight I'm seeing in the team. We've talked a lot of big picture stuff about Celtic on the YouTube channel recently. Lennon's future, how Celtic are going, what's going on with the title race. For me, it's good today to just perhaps focus on a few individuals that are making this Celtic team tick at the moment. And Tom Rogic is, for me, at the top of the list.
Let's talk about him then, because it's strange the difference that a matter of weeks can make. You know, not so long ago we're saying goodbye to Tom Rogic. He's away to an unnamed Qatari club for, was it not like 4 million or something daft like that? I even did a video that's aged absolutely horrifically on this channel about Tom Rogic's, exactly, that's a good point, about Tom Rogic's finest moments, and we may well be adding a few between now and the end of the season. He may even have added one today, who knows, with that brilliant cross for the second goal. It's strange that just how football can change over a matter of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, to be fair to yourself, I think a lot of people were worried about Tom Rogic just because he'd barely kicked the ball for a long time, and when he was in the team, he kind of looked laboured to me. But I think, today's performance and the way he's made an impact in the team of late, I think it's clear that he's put whatever issues he has behind him and he's ready to make a stake for that number 10 position in Neil Lennon's formation. I think he just adds such an attacking focal point to us in the final third. When he has the ball, he just looks constantly dangerous around the box. When he's off the ball, I think teams are scared of him and it creates space for other people to run into. And he's just got this knack of releasing the ball at the absolute perfect time. And I think we miss that kind of ruthlessness and direct attack and play when he's not in the team. And I'd love him to stay in the team now and get regular games and build partnerships with LUNC, build a partnership with Christie, build a partnership with Edward, because I think he can be the composer that makes everything tick in the final third.
It's exciting, isn't it? Like that front four. And I know we've got numerous other options on the bench, and we saw some of them today, and we've got other ones that are not even getting in the match squad at the moment, James Forrest, Mikey Johnson, we forget all about him. But that front four that started the game today, like, if that doesn't get you excited, then there's something up with you, or you're a Rangers fan, because it is it's exciting stuff. What is it? Edward, Rogic, LUNC, Christie. That's talent right there.
Yeah, and we've been frustrated with LUNC of late, but I don't think you can deny that when he's played in his best position, which I think he was today, that he's a really effective performer. And he showed that against Lille as well. I mean, he's a fantastic player, and we need to get the best out of these players in their best position. And there's one or two others in the team. I don't know how you're feeling about Waxall just now, but I think he looks magic.
Yeah, I thought he was better on Thursday night as opposed to today. He had a moment in the second half. He's a bundle of energy. He's an absolute bundle of energy, and that's what you need as a wing back in any team, but especially with Celtic, the way we play. But there was a moment in the second half when, I don't know if you noticed it, when Scott Brown was actually visibly telling him, calm it down, you don't need to make that run every time, just drop back in and play left back and keep the ball sometimes. So I think that's a part of his game he can work on, because he's very much like an all energy, I must absolutely give him all every minute. He maybe can calm down sometimes and keep the ball, and maybe that's something that comes with playing in a different team, because every team he's played in his career, probably apart from Milan, and even Milan have been teams who maybe play counter-attack football or certainly aren't expected to dictate the play. But I absolutely love the guy. He can defend, he can go forward. I think his crossing needs work as well. Sometimes he can overhit crosses, but with him and Frimpong in the other wing, like, this team is starting to take shape, isn't it? I'll read you out a couple of the comments just quickly, because as always we appreciate everyone who's watching our videos, giving or spending a wee chunk of their weekend watching us. Mazar Yusuf, hi Mazar, he or she's saying the King is back with another 2 assists. That Christie goal was outstanding. Hopefully he and the team can now use this game as a catalyst for better performances. Another final, wouldn't you know? Exactly, another final. While other teams play league duty, we're going going to win more trophies. You're founding the Tom Rogic fan club, or you have founded it, but Marcus Allen wants to join you. He's saying Rogic simply, well, he says Rogic is on another level. So
yes,
yeah.
I think he's the closest we've got to a playmaker in that team, and I think that's what we've been missing at times over the last few months. Again, you shouted out Frimpong there, and I thought he just really had he had the better of Matty Kennedy today. I thought he was all over him, and I thought he defended well as well. There was a couple of shaky moments in the first moments of the game where he kind of lost himself and let in 2 crosses from his flank. But I thought after that he improved a lot. I think he's playing in his best position as well. I think he prefers playing as a right back and having perhaps someone in front of him like Christie, who's going to do some hard work for him. I just thought there was good balance in the team today. The second half, you could see the key players tiring a little bit, and it was no surprise that Lennon brought them off. Edouard and Christie in particular, and then Rogic went off just after the 80th minute. But this is to be expected because they're still coming back from COVID scares and time off and all sorts of stuff. But I just thought the whole afternoon was a positive, and that first half I thought was possibly our best half of the season so far.
I think there's less emphasis on Frimpong to have to be that attacking threat when he's playing it right back. Now, the way he plays the game, he's always going to be like that because I wouldn't class Frimpong as a defensive player, far from it. He's an attacker, even though he plays in a so-called defensive position. I think when he was playing at right wing back and he had no one directly in front of him, the plan was quite often give the ball to Frimpong, let's see what he can do with it, almost, let's see if he can work a bit of magic here. Now he's got someone ahead of him, albeit not a winger. He's got Ryan Christie ahead of him. I think it still makes a difference, and Christie can cut in like he did for his goal, actually, a brilliant goal that we should probably speak about. Quite similar, I know you don't follow Scotland, but for any Scotland fans out there, he scored a really similar one for Scotland away in, I want to say, Cyprus last year. Look that up on YouTube after this video, obviously. Iconic, and it's really similar to the goal he scored today. He just opens it up, and it was one of those you knew the minute it left his foot it was hitting the back of the net.
I mean, he's been due one, let's be honest. I think he's probably had about 40 shots this season. So it was nice to see one fly into the top corner. But again, just running off Rogic. Rogic releases the pass at the perfect time with the perfect weight. And that sets up Christie to have the shot at goal. He had tons of space to kind of shape his shot and know exactly what he wanted to do. But you don't see better goals than that'll be one of the best goals we scored all season. Again, Rogic just chipped for Elyounis's goal. Magical. I thought Big Beaton looked good in defence as well.
Apart from one moment.
Yeah, he made one. There was one shaky moment, but in terms of being in possession of the ball, I think his direct balls into the midfield are far better than the offerings that we get from Ajer, who likes to carry it with his feet, and obviously Duffy, who struggles still a bit with his distribution. But I think he's a comfortable choice, and it was interesting because Ajer came off with a groin strain on Thursday. But Neil Lennon was speaking before the game on BBC Radio Scotland and suggested that the Ajer injury wasn't as bad as he suspected and that he could be back in the team by the end of the week. So he could be back for the Motherwell match.
That's good. Ryan also wanting to comment on Beaton. Beaton solid today, cool, calm and collected, been missing that. Great to see the boys with a clean sheet. It's our first clean sheet in 5 games. It's also obviously our first win in 5 games. Tierum has been in touch. Apologies, I forgot that name pronounced wrong. Finally back to the club, rewarding me for staying up to 3 a.m. Absolutely love the Wizard of Oz. John, you're good at maths. If he was up to 3 a.m, where will he be based? America?
Might be in Australia. Yeah, might be.
Let us know, Tierum. And yeah, good stuff. Is there a slight kind of disappointment that when we went 2-0 up after half an hour, that the second half performance, we didn't batter in more goals?
Yeah, I mean, maybe you're expecting them to blow away Aberdeen, but Neil Lennon was playing it pragmatically. I thought the game management was good in the second half. We were starting to look a little bit ragged, but I think that's because we were tiring. And we didn't seem to have the same urgency in the game, and there's no doubt about it. The second half wasn't as good as the first half, but I was happy with the substitutions when he made them. I didn't think we were ever in any real danger. I was always comfortable seeing the result. So, given the horrid October that we had, Hamish, I was just happy to see that. And we can something to build on now. And I think we've got an opportunity now to pick up another 2 victories before the international break. Got Sparta Prague on Thursday.
Big game.
They're not even playing in the Czech First League at the moment. They've only played 2 games in a month. and they've been beaten heavily by Lille and AC Milan. So we've got an opportunity to beat them. And then we've got Motherwell next Sunday, which is a massive game again, another huge game that we need to win. But if we play like we did today, then I would fancy us to do that.
Tierham is in Australia, so very well done. And Just Jordan's been in touch as well. I thought Beaton was great today as well, solid at the back, made some great passes as well. I was so impressed with Christie off the ball too. He has so much energy. I thought Ryan Christie, goals aside, was really good as well today. Obviously today's about the cup, and we all want to get to a cup final, and we all want to win yet another trophy, 12 in a row. You kind of have to keep saying that to believe it. But more than that, as much as today was a cup game, everyone's mind is still on the league, isn't it? Like, today was as much, for me anyway, about the team showing that they're back for what's to come in the league than just simply getting to a cup final. And for me, playing against probably the third or the fourth best team in Scotland, a side who drew with us last week, a side who have played really well away from home. I think today was only the second game they've not won or not lost away from home, with Sporting Lisbon being the other one. So Aberdeen are a good side, and this was a Celtic performance for me in the first half that was back to its best. And after a positive result in Lille on Thursday night, that's really promising. Do you get the impression this is a Celtic team that is about to embark on, a winning run? Maybe not, against Lille and AC Milan, but domestically at least.
Trying not to get too ahead of myself, but I mean, we're just looking at what you're saying about the league there. We're looking for a response, aren't we? We're looking for a response to what was, quite frankly, a month to forget. It's the start of a new month. We're into November now. And some aspects of the performance against Lille were so encouraging again. And I thought we saw a continuation of that today. And that's what you want to see. You want to see continuation and consistency. Neil Lennon said something interesting earlier in the week before we played Lille. He said that he's looking at his players and he sees the bit between their teeth again. Which suggested to me a change in attitude or change in determination. Perhaps something's just clicked with them behind the scenes. They've gotten over something, or they're just hoping to prove people wrong again. I mean, if you're not motivated after that result against Rangers, then you've no business of being at Celtic. And although we didn't beat Aberdeen last week, and I was pretty miserable on the YouTube stream, we didn't lose the game either, and we actually scored 3 good goals. And I think we've just taken a bit of that confidence into these matches. I think the clean sheet today is huge as well. I mean, fair play to that back four who have been under so immense pressure and immense stick. And another changed lineup today with Beaton having to come back in because of Ayer, but they performed well and did what they needed to do. So yeah, I think if we can win our next 2 matches, we're in good shape, and it's going to be a long season. But it was just promising today. Yeah,
definitely. We're looking forward to Thursday night against Sparta Prague. Massive game, that one, in terms of the Europa League and progression. Up against, I know you say they've not played many games and they've struggled in their 2 games so far, but they're a decent side. I think they were top of the Czech league. They probably still are. They started the league season really well, so it's no gimme, that game, but really looking forward to it. And actually, for the first time about a big Celtic game in a while, quite confident. I know that usually... Don't worry, I'm not going to do a 5 reasons why we're going to beat Sparta Prague or anything like that, the channel, but I'm looking forward to it, put it that way. I want to see Celtic in action. Chris Tully, it's going to be enjoyable overtaking the forces of darkness in the league. Who's he talking about there? Hopefully this is a turning point. Definitely agree with that we all want this to be a turning point. Right, we'll finish the video. 20th of December, we take on Hearts, not even a Premiership team, in the Scottish Cup final. I was doing a bit of research earlier on, a bit of pointless research. Obviously the Scottish Cup final prior to this was all the way back in, I think, May 2019. We also played Hearts. This is the first time that a Scottish Cup final has been repeated from one season to the next since the early 1980s. So intriguing stuff. Did you see any of Hearts yesterday? How do you think they'll kind of pose opposition in the final?
Yeah, it was a pretty dire game against Hibs. It kind of livened up towards the end, but I think only because both teams are knackered and were just kind of sluggishly punching each other to the death. I wasn't impressed with them. I don't think they'll have much ambition in this cup final. I would expect them to go down the route of trying to, dig in and spoil the game. Aberdeen kind of attempted to have a go in the early stages today, but we'll just need to wait and see and keep an eye on Hearts' form over the next while. I think it's obviously a winnable game. If you can imagine back in 2016, to think of that would have the chance to win a quadruple treble against a lower league team, you would be all over that. So I'm happy that it's Hearts instead of Hibs, and I think we'll do it. And I think it'll be a good thing to hang our hat on this season, and hopefully we can maintain a winning run until then, and just head into a crucial festive period with so much confidence. That's the plan. It's easier said than done, Hamish, but that's what I'm hoping for.
Christmas may be cancelled or even worse, digital this year, but we've got a Scottish Cup final to look forward to. And who doesn't want to win another trophy against Andy Halliday, against Stephen Naismith, probably two of the most despised players that lot have had over the last decade or so. And obviously Craig Gordon will be in the opposition team as well. So yeah, looking forward to that one. Goes without saying we're going to have massive preview to that one near the time. Previews to Thursday and Sunday against Motherwell as well. Finally, are we looking up, John?
I think so. We've got to take the positives as they come, Hamish. Despite some of the comments we've received in recent weeks, we're not miserable, and we're not kicking Celtic for the sake of it at times. There has been elements that we have had to be critical of over the last few weeks, but when we put together a performance and we see some of our favourite players performing well, I can't hide my love for Celtic. I can't hide my love for this team. There's some exciting players in it, and when they do well, I'm happy to be happy about it.
Definitely, John. It's been great to have you on, and see you in a much happier frame of mind.
Cheers.
Fantastic. If you want to read more of John's comments alongside the other 67 Hail Hail writers, nip on to 67hailhail.com. I presume there'll be lots of content on there for the rest of the day and for the rest of eternity, basically. On terms of this channel, if you're watching this and you've not yet managed to subscribe, really appreciate you doing that. We're back tomorrow. Jackie McNamara, I believe, will be with us. Looking forward to hearing what Jackie had to say on Sunday's game. Until then, take care and Hail Hail.